Hello, good evening, everybody. It is I, Claude Bawles, with another show for whom the Bawles tolls. So, what's Claude going to talk about tonight? Well, everybody always says that Claude is obsessed with the Kent and Sandra. So, in order to not disappoint people, well, that's probably someone we can talk about. But I'll be guided by yourselves. If you're in the comments or whatever, if you do want to come on, please come on soon. Don't wait. Don't wait an hour or two when I am ready to leave. Hello to Deconstructing Lara 42. Good morning to yourself also. I, I hope you can hear me. And yes, we'll just have to see if anybody is around this time of the day to come on. And Soot is on too, so this is good. Uh, I've been very busy keeping the pressure on a certain Kent, well known to all of us. And that's been fun. Captive Desk is on too. Say hello to you as well. Yes, I mean, he's been putting up. Has anybody noticed? It's even worse now that he has gone to Rumble, that all his shows are essentially the same. He rages about how it's the evolution is the most silly, stupidest, dumbest religion in the world, and blah blah blah, and there's no evidence at all for evolution, and blah blah, just complete and utter shite. So, but he's good at that. Hello, Maud. But feel free to come on the stream. I see you're having a show. Is that right? I'm at a bit of I'm traveling at the moment. At the moment where I am in the world, it is 10 o'clock at night, and I think your show is at for me 7 in the morning. So it just depends if I wake up or not in time. So welcome to come on now. That's good. See how things are going. I see there's quite a lot of talk at the moment about people going to, what is it called, the Ark Encounter protest. That's the one in Kentucky, not Kent's Ark. And this is another one. So I think some of them are going up there. And that should be interesting for them and see if who turns up. So Stephen Boland could be going. I did catch a glimpse of him on Kent's show the other day when he was hauled up to say how wonderful Mr. Hovind was. And my God, the man has put on a bit of beef. In fact, he's very big. He's a big unit. I think I understand about 6'3". But my God, he is broad as well and clearly enjoying all the Lord is providing in the way in the way of food and sustenance. Missing Mod, Kent Aki. Yes, that's very good. That is very clever. You see Mod in the comments saying, you mean Kent. Yeah, Captive Desk has booked a room in Kentucky. And Missing Mod says, you mean Kent. New word, Aki. I do like you could be a comedian. When I was young, all my friends used to laugh at me when I said I wanted to be a comedian. They're not laughing now. No, I'll move on. I could sound like Kent. These sort of jokes. Anyway, I was just saying Stephen was a very big unit. And what it made me wonder was if they were sort of practicing the loaves and fishes story at Dinosaur Adventureland, and somehow he forgot that the loaves and fishes were meant to be divided amongst the whole sort of thousands of people, and just ate a lot himself. But I couldn't possibly comment. I've had some fun shows. Well, not fun shows, shorts, mainly shorts. And normally they tick along, maybe get 100 views, maybe only 50, you know. That doesn't matter, if I can win just one soul for rational thinking, then I'm going to be happy. Um, here we go. Here's missing mod. I press add to the stage, and voila, it is you, missing mod.
Hello, hi. Can you hear
Ah,
me okay?
I can. Yes, it's good to hear
Okay.
you.
Let me
Yeah.
check, make sure. Nope, I'm not on the right mic.
Ah, oh, you could
Oops.
speak up a little bit. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Hold
your
on 1 second. Let me figure out why my mic isn't connected.
yeah. Father Charles, I take it that is the Chuck in the audience. Kid over rolls. Full stop. Nothing. Oh dear. Just while missing mods getting organized. I will say the one, not that I count views. It doesn't matter to me. But I did one on Kent's socks underwear birthday, and it got 5,685 views, which I thought was fun. Oh, missing mods disappeared. She must be going to rejoin. Um, so I thought that was good. I was very sort of proud, in sweet atheist love, of course, of that. Yes. So, would you how theological am I, Father Charles, when I'm talking about the loaves and fishes or the feeding of the? Is it 5,000? I'm not sure. I was just saying that Mr. Bowler looked as though he'd forgotten that and eaten a lot. Oh dear, nothing quite as cruel as a clod. Sometimes. Um, and then what else have I done them on? Um, this is yes, misrepresenting evolution, admits his followers are dumb. Oh dear. Kent Owen and the banana. That's when when he's being trolled by Ali G. He says, do you like bananas or something? And he says, yes. That that means he's a, yeah, uh, it's obviously a proving evolution because Kent likes bananas. Hello, Deviant Outcast. How are
Hello,
you?
hello. I am good. It
Yeah,
is the allergy season, so I have a bit of an asthma and a bit of
yeah.
allergies, but it's still good.
Oh, that is very good. So there've
Mhm.
been less shows altogether lately. So
It
missing one,
has.
yeah, is having a problem with her microphone, but she'll fix that soon. Yes, there hasn't been as many, and that's quite good in a way because at one stage every day you're trying to listening to shows, your normal life got turned upside down.
Well, I mean, you're assuming that everyone has real lives. Some of
Oh,
us are more. We float around in the ether, and then we land and perch
uh,
upon an open mic somewhere.
yeah. And there's nothing like an open mic to perch on,
That
from
is
what I've
true.
heard. Mm. Um, tell me, are you going to fly across the Atlantic to go to the Kentucky ARC protest?
No, I really really wish I could. There's gonna be so many wonderful people there, people I've gotten to know
Hmm.
uh, via YouTube, and uh, it would be. I've said many times, and it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I kind of wish that we had that sort of anti-scientific nonsense, monstrosities going on here in Sweden. But there's nothing here to protest.
Yes, yeah. Like, have you got a giant Swede in Sweden or not? Or is that different?
No, not this. We don't even have like a. You could see a situation where we would have like a giant herring,
Right, yes, that could be fun. Yeah.
but not to my
You,
knowledge.
you've never thought of doing it, probably. That's good. People. Oh, and just to say
We
hello
do
to.
have giant horses,
Oh,
wooden horses, yes. And this morning I found out that we also have at least 4 sons.
oh, okay.
It was very weird.
Well, I just want to say in the chat hello to Maria, who said, "Hi everybody, first time I've caught a Claude live stream, so the first time that Maria has been caught by the Bawles,
Ooh.
so to speak." And yeah, that's great. The most beautiful sound I ever heard, Maria. Oh, I better stop singing. Wasn't
That
it the
was
American composer wrote that, didn't he? You
beautiful.
know. Yeah. Maria, ya da 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 dee da da dee. Say it soft and it's almost like praying, Maria. Oh, we better stop. We'll drive everybody away. Deviant, deconstructing Laura says, "Hello, Deviant. I saw your picture of the suns, and it was in capital letters. Amazing." Mm.
Mhm. Yeah, and at first I thought, well, maybe it has to do with, there is a uh, with the window, the glass in the window, if that
Right.
made like a difference. But
Mm.
I moved around and they stayed the same. And I have no idea if it's like there are planets in between that kind of gives us extra. I have no idea. I've never
Well,
seen.
the only other place that phenomenon occurs is, I understand, at Dinosaur Adventureland, where the sun shines out of all of Kent's orifices. So there are about 4 of them. So I understand, but don't tell too many people; they'll all want to go there.
I sure hope that's not true because I kind of like the midnight sun.
It must be very interesting, I must admit. I've never been up there. So, um, yeah, so is there any news from your life, Deviant, at the moment? Anything to tell us?
Not really. Like we're still going on with the moving and
Right.
stuff, and it really takes time because both me and Sut, we both have a lot of things that we both lived in our previous apartments
Mm.
for, well, I lived there for 19 years, and I
Oh,
think
yes.
Sut lived in his like 17 years. And in my case, it's so far away, and I don't really have the money to just to go there and go back for just me. It's like $400 to $500, and it
Mm.
takes 2 days of traveling, and then
Mm.
you have to pay for the movers, of course.
Yeah.
So it's been a bit slow, and if I'm being honest, it kind of starts to get to me because I'm very much someone who I like my home is my castle. It's where I'm safe and grounded and all of that. And even though I like it here, and I mean, if it weren't for Soot, I would never be here. But he makes it wonderful.
Yes.
So I don't really know how I would have managed if it wasn't for that. Because I left in September to go and visit Soot for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And since then, I have been back home a week when me and Soot were packing up
All right.
parts of my apartment.
Yes, you just have to get ruthless and throw a lot of stuff out. We all collect all this stuff, you know.
Yeah, and part of it is that a lot of it is things that has to do with my miniature making and all of the other crap, because I don't just do miniatures. I do all sorts of things. But there is going to be a what's the word? When you sort out.
The day of reckoning, the day of throwing stuff out, the garage
Yeah.
sale. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I've accumulated a lot of stuff, and God, it's so hard. It's not where I am at the moment, and because I just have an apartment, but you know, I do have a base somewhere else, and I keep a lot of stuff. Deconstructing Laura says she and her husband are moving in November, and I'm equally thrilled and dreading it. Yes.
Yeah, that it really is that double the dichotomy of it, the contrapositioning of things, where on the one hand it's really exciting and fun, and to say I like being with Soot is kind of the greatest understatement you could make. But there is also this there's the stress of it all, and of course there's a bit of sadness because I'm leaving whatever I've always had and been used to for all my life, and things here are very, very different, and so it's a lot. And I guess
well, in a
that
way,
too.
there's something to be said. If you'd shifted to Dinosaur Adventureland, Kent would have taken everything you had anyways. That would have solved a lot of problems. You know? Sold it off to the ministry to buy that new Jeep that he's after, and also to pay the advertising sign. So, you know, there could be some
I think he
positive
would
points of
complain
going to a cult.
if I were like taking pictures of my miniatures and sending him and being like, yeah, can I come? I do these things and yada yada yada, and he'd be like, oh yeah, awesome, she can build everything for us here. And then when he sees the teeny tiny
Well, you know, I collect miniatures, miniature horses, but I'm not sure that My Little Pony counts, but I'm yet to ask.
Do you really?
No, no.
Okay, because there are people who do that, and somewhere I think it's at my parents' house. I have my one and only My Little Pony. It was very special because it had a star on its butt cheek and like rainbow colored hair.
Oh, it was.
So it's very, very special.
No, but you know, in real life, apparently there are people that sort of play like horses. The girl gets bridled up and ridden around, and they even tow little carts, and it's all very kinky.
There are people for everything and everyone.
Yeah. Laura says, "My Little Pony counts. My mum said so." So there you go. Lord's Little Pony, if he had one, would count as a collecting miniatures. So I don't know. Uh, yeah. I tell you what, I've noticed that for the last couple of weeks, there's been no Dan Drivel shows. You know how he does those shows, Designer Talk with Drivel Dan, and there hasn't been any. So I wonder if his star is fading, or was it that only 2 people watched? I don't know, but because I did manage to get onto a couple of them and not even get kicked off. I restricted myself from going in too hard, as it were.
Yeah. I mean, I get for you maybe, and the content that you make, that there is some you get something out of watching and going on those shows. But for me, I don't really know what kind of demon would possess me for me to subject myself to that, because I know that I can't have, I'm not among friends, and any topic that we would talk about, it would be me speaking about something that I hopefully know something about, and if I didn't know enough about it, I would be clear and say I didn't know enough about it. Maybe I still would have something to say, but I would play by completely different rules than literally everyone else there.
In fact, Chuck has commented, Dan has done his ratings went from 40 views to 2 views. And one of them was his mother. No.
And the other one was Chuck.
Soot says in the comments, I have my little Lemmy, a Funko Pop figurine. So that's his collection. Maria says her siblings and her moved their mother out of her house and into assisted living, and it was Maria's job to break down the household and deal with all their stuff and move stuff to her own place. The hardest month ever. I quite agree. I think when you have to condense someone's life, it's very difficult, And imagine throwing out all the shit in Kent's basement. There must be a lot of stuff there. Videos.
I would have
videotapes.
Yeah, I would definitely have a psychologist on call if that fell on me. Just to be safe. Like, you never know. It could be just nothing that you find there. And it could also be some sort of abominable horror.
Tragedy the other day was complaining. He said that, well, I mean, he wasn't complaining. He was saying that, the secretaries come in and help him with his laundry. It made me feel like saying, is he that lazy he can't do his own laundry? And the answer probably is yes. I imagine that all his wives did all that for him. And then when Sandra left, not that he's acknowledged that other than his ring has disappeared, that he now has to do his own laundry and a few other activities that I've been highlighting at the end of some of my clips, but we won't say much about that. Pure speculation. Yeah.
Pure speculation.
It's quite funny because I got clips of him talking with Stephen. And what did you transcribed all that audio? And what did you find? Oh, nothing, blah, blah, blah. Because I put up what Stephen really found when he transcribed the clips. It just finishes with a little bit of heavy breathing. I'm not going to say whether what it is. It could be nothing. Just leave it to people's imagination.
Some gentle workouts, perhaps.
Yes. Well, things that, yeah, unbecoming of a preacher, perhaps, but that's typical for Kent.
Yeah.
And we're not going to discuss his shortcomings on this show, as far as I'm concerned. And I don't know what else has been going. Has anything really annoyed me? Has anything annoyed you, Missing Mod, about that's been on any of those shows? I get a bit annoyed with the ortho bros, arguing over the head of a pin, that drives me crazy. Oh, Chuck says the Proverbs guys are done as well. Mission accomplished. Well, it could well be done, yeah, because they're just not doing the number of shows. And when they do, when they get bugger all. And even then they put Kent on now thinking he's going to be a big draw card. No, it's not. So I did put up a short today with someone who used to be at Dino Land saying that Stephen Boland just goes where the money is. He just follows the money. If he can get some money out of something, he'll be on your side. So it's quite a devastating little comment, but it's quite true. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Also, he's learned from the best or worst, depending on how you look at it.
Yeah. Soot says maybe Kent tried to get out of bed and pulled a muscle. Oof. quite a very good. Oh, Davy says buenos dias from Costa Rica. That's
Buenos
interesting.
dias.
Is that a retirement place? I've had a lot of people go there to retire, or is it for holiday? Apparently tropical. Is that right? Central America somewhere. Costa Rica. Yeah.
I mean, my only question would be, ¿Dónde están mis pantalones? Because that's the only thing I can really say in Spanish.
Oh, yeah, no, I don't speak. Well, buenos dias, pretty well. I know what that is. Buenas tardes, buenas noches.
Yeah.
Missy Mod's having problems with her audio. It's all messed up, so that's fine. She's with us in spirit. So I have a whiskey for us, Missing Mod, or a gin. Who can be with us in spirit. Oh, my jokes are as bad as Kent's. No. If that ever happens, please shoot me. Shoot. Chuck says, Mod, he's very, very sympathetic. Mod, your audio is always messed up. I'm wondering if Mod, this is, this is a rumor. We don't want rumors to start, but has Mod employed Joseph as a tech guy? because Joseph's tech would probably. Did you hear? I put a clip up of it. Brett Keane had arranged on some other guy, some evangelist type guy, horrible man show, to have Kent interviewed. Anyway, when it all came about, the tech was just horribly destroyed and it never went ahead. Anyway, so he was quite annoyed about this. You could tell and I don't blame him, Brett. I don't blame him for being annoyed. And he said that if Kent should sack his tech guy, he wasn't up to the task. It was completely useless. And he said it several times. He was quite angry about it. I sort of tend to agree. I mean, goodness, how long has he had now? And he's supposedly a tech expert. He's obviously in the same league as Kent Science. Totally useless. So Only one thing I do have to look at. I shouldn't be too mean, because if it wasn't for Joseph, we wouldn't have on record that Sandra had disappeared as the fourth wife of Kent Hovind. It was Joseph,
Exactly.
during an apparently drunken recklessness, that actually mentioned it. uh,
We all make mistakes.
we
And
all do, but that
sometimes
was a
those
good
mistakes,
mistake.
exactly, those mistakes turn out to be just
Oh,
happy little accidents.
Laura says we all need to team up for an international trip. Her Spanish, Deviant's Egyptian, Maria's Polish. We're all set. Hmm. Hmm.
Awesome.
Sounds like fun.
Hmm.
But we've got to get Chuck on here for one day. He's not calling himself Father
Yeah,
Chuck. And that photo that looks like he's got dark hair. It looks like a much younger version. If I'm reading it correctly, my eyesight's not very good on my
I
screen.
have long wondered
Hmm.
if he just rode off into the sunset, leaving us all behind,
Hmm.
laughing
Uh,
while driving without a seatbelt.
Probably. I mean, I suspect there could be because he's entitled to, he's a widower. If there's some sort of potential Mrs. Chuck on the horizon. In fact,
Mm.
if I was cruel, I would wonder if, shall we say, Sandra, and in which case Chuck will have to go and ask Kent for permission to marry his ex-wife. You know? Don't let this one
No.
go. It's all good. Chuck in the audience then says, if Kent lives to be 100, he'll have 14 wives. Well, this is a comment I do want to make, and I don't wish anybody shorten lives or lengthen lives or whatever. Whatever happens is whatever happens. But I've noticed that Kent, when it comes to that, he doesn't want to die. He doesn't want to. And this has
Oh
struck
no.
me about a lot of these evangelicals, that for someone who supposedly Evan is this great reward and they can be at God's right hand, especially Kent. You imagine tapping him on God on the shoulder. Oh, look at what he did. Look at that Claude. He was a little asshole. Oh, look what Mark did. Oh, look what Deviant did. Blah, 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 blah. I did this for you, God. I did that. I'm better than anybody else. He'd be doing that. But he doesn't seem, he doesn't want to go. He doesn't want to go. So I actually think that he is not so sure. His faith isn't as strong as he might suggest. Yeah.
I think it's a very common trait amongst narcissists. They believe themselves to be immortal. So getting older is something they tend to deny even happening. Same as being sick, because they view it as a weakness rather than like a natural part of life.
Right.
And I also think that you have Kent isn't as much. I do believe that he is a believer of sorts, but he thinks there are special rules for him.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as if he imagines his God to basically be himself. That's the impression I get.
Or a version of him. Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And all this business about it's God's universe. If you don't want to, go make your own universe. Well, that's assuming that God made the universe. It's a hell of a big assumption. A lot of crap that is. Well, it's him. He owns it, and if he owns it, he makes the rules. Yeah, when he doesn't, and also owning people is not a good thing. I know His Bible says
No.
it is, but most of us now realize that owning people, that's not good. Deconstructing Laura said, no, Kent knows he's an asshole and he's going to go to hell. Oh, and Chuck says, deviant, I'm back in time in 1983. Photo must be 1983. That's why I look so young.
Oh,
Mm.
that
Yes,
explains it.
Soot, that lovely man. Soot
Mhm.
says that Kent twists scriptures to validate his own actions. I can give you the best example of that is the one where, the Bible has some phrases through it. When an unbeliever departs, it means something. Well, in that case, an unbeliever is not a Christian or someone who doesn't believe. But when it's used in relation to marriage, when an unbeliever departs, you can get married again. He says, "Oh, it's an unbeliever in the marriage." What
Yeah, that's not
that
what.
is devious. That is completely,
Mhm.
manipulating the scripture. I mean, it's a if you believe the Bible is true and God is real, then that's terrible sin that he's doing. So, yeah. Oops, Kent's throat. I'm not a speech therapist or physician, says Maria, but something's going on with all that throat clearing and it seems to be getting worse. My theory is if he lies for some reason, God maybe tickles his throat. But, I'm not a medical person. Yeah. Maud, how's your microphone going? Maud. Maud. How's your microphone? Looks as though it might not be. You'll have to get it fixed before your show. Yeah. Maud. Yeah. Yes. Manipulating women, mentally abusing them like a psychopath and acting like the victim. That's quite a common thing. Not good. Maud has given up on the mic. But you've got a show soon, haven't you? Like, well, it's X number of hours away. So can you, or will you have to go out and get a new one, or, yeah, which would be
Hmm.
good. Oh, Mud, are you going to get up to the the Kentucky protest? Yeah. Yeah, right. Your show's tonight. Okay. I think it's because for me, it's tomorrow because I'm near midnight and then it'll be for me, I think 7 in the morning here. It will be your show, but for you, it'll be later today. Yeah, it gets confusing. Hello,
Mhm.
the ghost. Who's saying hi all. Davey says his opinion is that Kent has an irregular art beat, thus all the throat clearing. And I guess the heart can affect that sort of thing. It can. Oh, he says all the dust from the riding on those trails. As opposed to the dust, the good dust kicked up by his own jeeps, as opposed to the dust on the government road, which he wants them to put seal on, even though he
Yeah.
doesn't pay the taxes that pay for that. Oh God, you can't make that up. Missing Mod isn't going. It would have been good because Mod, I understand that Big Bad Mama is going, so that would have been quite good.
Mhm.
I don't think Gangster's going because Gangster must be very soon going to London, to visit the
Yeah.
Queen.
When when
Well, it would be the King now, actually. Yeah,
when are you going, Gangster?
Gangster. I think if I remember rightly, it's in July and
Yeah.
reasonably soon in July, but I'm not sure. Well, so we're only halfway through June, so it's going to. But not the gangster, the ARC protest is in July, early July. The funny thing, Ken was telling us that how they had so much rain at he's building this ark on his property, and they had so much rain and it almost flooded, which I thought was quite good because that actually happened at Ken Ham's ark. They actually had an
It
insurance
did.
claim for flood damage.
Yep.
You can't make this stuff up.
It's bad luck.
Yeah. So, Ghost, you could come on if you like. Depends how you're going. All right, Missing Mod is about to move. Are you moving within your general area, or is it a big, long distance move, Mod? Yeah. Meantime, Chuck, who wants a ride down the Ohio River on his ark? Now, I wonder what kind of ark Chuck has. Oh, here we go. It's Mr. Logo.
Hello. Hi.
How are
Oh, yeah.
you?
Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Good, yeah.
Good. Nice to see you. It's been a while. I mean, I've seen
Yes.
you in chats, but that's not the same.
Yes.
Yeah.
I saw that you have a show, and then I just thought I'd join.
That's good because, yeah, so I began to want, I thought, well, I only gave about an hour's notice normally. It just suited to everyone. And I thought, oh, will anybody come on? But it's been a pleasant surprise. Yeah, so because nowadays remember it used to be a show, at least one show every day, or sometimes two,
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 minutes, and now it's almost the opposite.
Yes.
We
When
don't.
Charles was streaming, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, Gangster was doing his daily show pretty well, and Mod was doing a lot, and in a way, it's quite good because you look forward to them more, when they're not every day. And then, obviously I see a gap and fill it. I know a guy. Oh, missing Mod in the chat. I know a guy. Oh, you could go and work for Dino Land with that sort of clever jokes, Mod. Yes, so Soot, you're not getting over to the Ark encounter, are you? Because you live on the other side of the world. Not Soot, Logo, Mr. Logo.
Me? No.
Yeah.
I'm not. No.
Yeah.
No.
Well,
You
Are
could
you
you could then maybe see Ken's single window, right? If he does it really according to biblical standards, right? There was really one tiny window in the whole
yeah,
ark.
yes. um,
are you still in Sweden?
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
nice.
You will not get rid of me. I will stay here till my last breath.
You are most welcome.
Thank you so much.
Davey is in Costa Rica, just there for work, he says. Yes, must be an interesting country. I think have lots of nature and wildlife. I like doing wildlife photography, bit of an hobby.
Go to all the nudist beaches.
Maria is going to practice the banjo. I hope
Ooh!
that isn't code for anything else, was it? Kent was strumming a banjo at the end of some of the shows. And she's not. And banjo and all. I'm not inbred. Love it. I like that. Yeah, nice to see you. Thank you for coming on, and maybe you can play the song Maria for us from Bernstein's musical. Yeah, when you practice that up. Missing Bod says she's the most boring person. I don't know why.
Okay.
Perhaps not shifting as far as we would think. And Davey Mo says mucha colones, which is Costa Rican dollars. Muchos. Does that mean many colonic irrigations? Is that what that means? I'm
What?
trying. For those who can't see it, I'll just put it up. Muchos colon. Yeah. Or maybe muchos colonoscopies, and you pay, it's a cheaper price in Costa Rica. I don't know.
He's paying a lot for colonoscopies.
Yes. Yeah. Well, What did I see the other day? Something about some women way back in the turn of last century in Canada who were conned by this doctor, a lady doctor who wasn't really a doctor, like Kent, I suppose. They paid all this money, to be treated by her, but all she did was starve them and give them enemas like all the time. One of them
Oh,
died.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've
Mm.
heard of her. I've heard of her on some crime podcasts.
Yes,
And
we must have watched the same one. Yeah, that's what it would be. Yeah, it was good. Very interesting.
Who
yeah, it
was that?
was.
Who was that?
Oh, I can't remember her
Yeah.
name.
But the two sisters, and
Yeah.
yeah, she took all their money from them basically. They were wealthy and they were fit, but she left them when they died. One of them died, who was weighing about something like 40 pounds, 50 pounds. It was, just terrible. Oops, Maud. Maud says she went to psychiatrist yesterday. Well, you should have come. If you could get the microphone, come on. Dr. Claude, the psychiatrist, will deconstruct you on the couch. What that means, that sounds bad, doesn't it?
Yes.
Not deconstruct, examine you on the couch. No, that's
It
just
doesn't
as
sound
bad.
better. You shouldn't say
Yeah.
that after you have told us the story about the women who perform
All right. Yeah. Yeah.
colonoscopies and
Yeah. We'll get into your deeper mind. Yeah, on the couch.
do
Burius
you
is
really
on there.
dare?
So, Mr. Slack. Oh my goodness. I've seen the odd show of who's the other people that lady's going to get married. What's her name? She wears long hair, and she used to be a lesbian or something, feminist, and now she's getting married to one of the guys on the show. She comes on Gangster's show. Do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Yeah.
What she used to. The only one I know who is getting married, except from myself and Sut, that's
Terry.
Terry.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I've seen her shows occasionally. That was a bit of a laugh sometimes. But my God, some of the people on those shows, despite being Christians, say the most horrible things. Oh my God, even I wouldn't, I've got a sense of humor, a little bit naughty. But my God, some of the things they say are like just really awful, very biological. So,
I the more I hang around this specific group of Christians, it's been an extremely. I actually don't think I've. If you take away like people I'm acquainted with that I don't have contact with anymore for obvious reasons, who are like well, let's just say rape and abuse and that sort of thing is rampant amongst them. I have not heard people being more vile towards others ever than, for instance, things that Tim just to Yeah, just to give one example, not to like. I don't want to sit and point. Oh, this said this and this said this, but just
Right. No, yeah, come to think of it, I've heard some of those things. Oh, what
Yeah.
is that what we call the ortho bros? Loosely or not? If I got the right thing.
Well, there are amongst them too.
Chuck says, Mod, the doctor said to continue to watch it at least 2 times a week. I guess that's like a prescription. And Mod says, it's been vile, VIAL. I presume that's a joke because it's normally VILE, but vile is a medical, a vial. So I think that's quite a clever little joke.
It's there's a difference between a vial, a veil, and being vile.
Beerus says, if you're an a-hole before you're a Christian, guess what? You're still one afterwards too.
Yeah, and actually, I think you might, in that case, you might even become an even bigger one because you suddenly think that you have all the answers, are more righteous and better than others. If that's where you like start out.
Right.
Yeah.
I must try and get on one of Kent's shows again. At the moment I've been blocked every time, but if I can invent a new character and disguise my voice enough, then I might get through Joseph's.
You should call yourself Sandra.
Yeah, I think that would be the.
I'm Sandra.
Remember when I sang that
Hello,
song?
Kent, I'm Sandra.
Do you remember when I got on and I was able to sing the hymn? Turn your eyes upon Jesus, look full in his wonderful face, and the things of earth will grow strangely dim as you realize Sandra's not coming back to your place. Oh, bang, gone. So to begin with, he was looking, oh, yes, that was the brilliance of that one, if I say so myself.
Yeah.
Maybe
he thought you're a widow and wanted to invite you already to his new room.
Yes,
right, the women cave.
Oh, I thought that was
the widow cave.
I had him thinking, oh yes, this is a Christian singer. But the word suddenly changed. Oh dear.
And wasn't he advertising for, like, if you're a Christian band singing like hymnals?
Yeah, and he wanted to attract widows, like for the women cave or the widow cave or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yes, yeah, there was widows and also girls and pastors to send along your girls to the man cave to service the cave dwellers there. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound very good, if you ask me.
No, it's a bad look. Well, that's fine. Depends on your thing. But people found their deconstructing Laura says he called it the hen house. Yes, he did. He called it the hen house.
You could turn that you could turn that right into some horror park, right? I mean, the Black Widow cave is right behind, besides the drowned child monument or something.
Right? Oh no! Oh. Anyway, it's not drowned; it's drowned dead.
Right, of course.
Kent says drowned dead. I shouldn't joke about that because I was quite appalled by that. Berius says, now I'm about to get started on more paint work. Fun. Is that like painting pictures, or you're doing painting of a house, Berius? And is Berius short for Tiberius?
I think it's short for Frank.
All right.
Sorry, Frank.
Yes. Because Tiberius would be quite impressive, one of those Roman emperors, if I
For
remember
sure.
correctly. Yeah. Funny, isn't it? The new Pope gets appointed and is all over the news in about a week or two, and then now nothing. Nobody cares anymore. Yeah. Except Kent. Kent's jealous, I think.
And so is Trump, so.
Berius says house painting. All right, touch up and clean up. Well, I like the middle one. But, if it's me being touched up, as it were. Mod says getting it ready for the next girlfriend, Berius. I'll go by beer, Berius and Tiberius. Yes, Berius says missing Mod is asking if you're getting the house ready for a new girl, the next girlfriend. Oh dear. We call him Berius Kent Slack. Oh dear.
Yeah, I would guess it will be a while.
So I don't know if there's any other controversial things happening. There's been some good fights on some of them, some of the shows. When Dustin gets on, and Dustin is someone I can relate to a bit better nowadays. Used to fight all the time, but now I realise that underneath it all, he's actually he does get quite a few things right. And I like how he's an equal opportunities destroyer. So he gets back into some of those people who are sort of on his side, which is Maud says we should have a dating game on her show one night. I agree. I don't know with who, but we can figure it out. And then Beerus says there's not enough unattached women in this community. Well, there could be. You never know. You never know. There's always someone could strike it lucky and not find anyone.
What?
The Claude is not, the Claude is single, but nowadays, but and not looking, to be honest. Claude is happy. I think
so
it's wonderful.
You're still in Singapore? You're still in Singapore? Because
not
you're
the
streaming.
Yeah, I'm traveling. Yeah.
Oh, okay, good.
I'm near. Yeah. What were you about to say in Singapore? There's some. So, Mr. Logo, you were saying something about Singapore, though.
No, I just wanted to ask if you are still in Singapore.
Yeah, no, I've just gone on holiday, but
Yeah.
I'm still based there.
Okay.
Different. I think I've changed an hour or two different.
Yeah.
But
because you're in a different time zone, right? You're streaming in a different time zone.
Yes, slightly different. Yes,
Yeah.
but that's fine. Of course, there's a lot of beautiful women in Singapore, and many of them educated and speak English as well, which is helpful. Because I got no idea of any of those Chinese-based languages. I'm totally lost when it comes to that. Yes, so Mod is going to run a dating game, and the first guest is going to be Kent Hovind, and then on a separate night we'll have Sandra, and maybe we can sort of get Chuck in there somewhere too, Father Charles. I'm not sure about Big Bad Mama, if he's still as someone or not. But haven't his, tell you what I love, the Big Bad Mama's shorts where he's in the wilderness. Do you know what I mean by the, hiking?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen those? If you
Yes.
haven't, you've got to see them. He's
Yeah,
done
I
the
like
music,
them.
himself for it too, and it's really appropriate, really good. Oh my God, I've got to read a couple of these things here. Aidan Beria says, I'll settle for a date with his pot till right now. And then Layden says, Big Bad Mama is swimming in Poontang. I didn't know that the name of the national park where he was in the river was called Poontang. But that must be one of the great American rivers near, because I've seen him swimming in a river, and obviously it's the Poontang River. Yeah, it must have been named after the Chinese gold miners. Yeah.
I thought that was in Canada, where they have the Putang.
Yeah, well, it does mean something else, but I'm not going to go into it. It's a family show. Aidan, how are you? I don't know if you saw, Aidan, that your friend Brett Keane had lost his rag with Joseph, the tech guy, and sort of demanding that Kent sack him because he's so incompetent. So I put a clip up of that, of course, in the hope that Kent and Joseph would both see it. The waters of Poontang are sweeter than any other thought. Yeah, well, yeah, no, well, I saw Big Bad Mama making great strides and strokes, as he swam, he leapt into the water, fine figure of a man, if I say so myself, significantly taller than the Claude and slightly narrower, and swam along that water. It looked great. And then that tink tank tink, it's like almost tin can. I can hear the sounds of tin cans in the music that he does for it. It's really good. So yeah.
Did you just call yourself short and fat?
Well, no, I just said less.
Okay.
Laura said if she was single, BBM would be tempting, but she's happily married. Yeah. I think, to be honest, BBM may have, I call her Miguel, as Miguel sounding like me.
No, her name is
goodness.
Miguel.
Yeah.
She knows her name is Miguel.
Miguel.
We
She does.
know her name is Miguel. So.
Miguel. Here comes. Drop the link. Yes, I'll do that. Some of those things I couldn't put up there. Copy and paste. Sorry. Okay, there it is, Dustin. Aidan, are you at the museum at the moment, or what are you doing? Aidan. Oh, here we go. Here's Dustin coming on at stage. Hello. How are you?
Well, this is a first time on Claude Ball. Well, no, actually, that's not true. I've been on here one other time.
Yeah.
Hi.
Miss Deviant Outcast. I have
yes,
to. I'm almost positive that I misheard you. But did you claim that rape and abuse are rampant? Who's getting raped? And why didn't I know about this?
I have a vague memory of having said something like that, but I have no memory of the context where I said it happened.
Like, I don't know, I'd say 45 to 48 minutes ago, you said something about being in contact or in association with Christians that you're no longer in contact with for obvious reasons. And then you went on to say something about rape, and I was like, who's getting raped?
Oh, no. I was talking about, I was making a comparison with people I had contact with many years ago who are criminal and who are very nasty people. And to give an example of their nastiness, I have no issues raping someone and talking about it.
Okay,
and
so I did in fact mishear you. Okay, I can live with that, but I couldn't. I hold you in the highest regards, deviant outcast, and this is why I come, because I just making sure we haven't lost connection with reality. You're not having like a disassociative break.
Nope.
Copy that. Okay, I'm like, what? Who's getting rape? Like, why? I must have misheard you. I had to come check. I care about you.
I know. It's mutual. I'm so glad you came on.
Well, you're one of the people I care about.
Oh, and you are one of mine.
This
You're
is
a bit
turning
of a
into
weirdo, and I love the
show of
weirdos.
love.
Well,
It
hey, isn't that an
is.
interesting change compared to my usual conversation, especially on Claude Bawles? I mean, you would usually think I was coming on as an adversary, but in this particular case, I'm an envoy.
We have sort of understood each other a bit better lately. It's been quite good.
Well, as long as we don't,
it's too early.
as long as we don't cross, as long as we don't cross boundary lines. Like the Venn diagram has to be balanced.
Yes.
we're starting to find our coloring zones. It'll be fine.
Oh dear. So I don't know what else has been going on. There haven't been as many shows, I've just been saying, Dustin, as there normally were, but
well, Gigi's been taking a bit of a break. He's going to go live here in just a little bit. Right. I'm going to head over there.
Yes, this show will just be a short one. Do you know what time he's going to be? Like, be in a half an hour, will he, or whatever?
I think he's already alive, or at least he should be. Right, or he's watching us, because we were over there and he brought this up, and I heard what I heard. I had to. I just had to get context. I had to make sure I understood what was being said.
Well, tell him we'll be over there soon. So
yes, sir.
And that'll be good.
Catch you guys later.
Yeah, thank you.
Catch you later.
Bye.
Well, look, guys, probably will wind her up. There's no point in going. I always like short shows around an hour anyway. So unless anybody's got anything else to say, we've had a bit of fun. And we'll until the next time.
You like to wind her up.
What? Who's this?
What? It's me.
Wind who up? I'll wind you up.
You just said I like to wind her up.
Oh, I meant the share.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I like to wind Kent Sandra up.
Oh, and yeah, that we know.
And Stephen Bowlen.
Bowlen.
Okay, folks. Well, look, we will go. Thank you for joining, everybody. Well, until we meet again, it is good night from me, and it's good night from him. Okay.
Thank you, guys.
See you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.